This is a zero investment strategy that I always use to transition from the early game atlas into the end game. No scarab is required, and it's purely Alc and Go using mechanics that scale well without juicing. I was able to progress pretty far with my atlas and bought myself about 20 divines worth of gear. I could have made more currency if I'm luckier, but let's get into today's strategy. This strategy will require your character to be strong enough to farm tier 16 maps at least. You are running a destructive play atlas together with Expedition and Betrayal. As I always preach, Betrayal is a very good early game mechanic due to how cost efficient it is to run. You can farm a lot of experience out of the Betrayal safe house to level up your character and your skill gems. They are a big part of the early game character's power. Besides that, it's also very profitable. Veiled jewelry can be sold consistently for 10 chaos a pop in the early game when people are still looking to unveil the craft. We have Veiled Orb as a jackpot drop, and it will only get more expensive as the league goes on. Destructive play fits well with your map pool early game because your maps are all over the place. You can run all of them with Maven Witness while completing the invitation yourself. Invitation is very profitable in the early game because of the Maven's Writs and Maven's Chisel. You also get tons of Shaper's Guardians, Elders, Conquerors, and Synthesize Maps. They are good for invitations and for selling as well. For the last mechanic, I chose Expedition because it's one of the best mechanics for low investment strategy. The Big Boom Keystone is useful for fast mapping, and you can skip the Expedition if you accidentally break it with a bad mod. We don't invest anything into the strategy, so you won't lose anything. Tujin is profitable if you haggle for the currency yourself, and you should always haggle instead of selling the reroll currency. I will have a full atlas tree in the description of this video, but let's talk about the important point first as it's early in the league, and you probably don't have all the points unlocked. As you can see, Betrayal and Expedition fit very well together because they are on the same side of the tree. The most important keystone is Extreme Archaeology here. It allows you to place only one explosive to start the expedition. After placing the explosive, you can check the modifiers from the expedition to see if you can run it. If you're following my build, we can run all the mods besides no regen or immune to lightning. Play smartly and don't face tank the mobs, and you should be able to clear at least 90% of the expedition. In this cluster here, we are taking Tujin and Danig because if your goal is to get more currency, they are the best. Tujin provides the reroll, and Danig supplies you with the currency for reroll. Expedition is always in my top 3 for league start. For Betrayal, we're taking all the relevant and useful Betrayal nodes. I have a full video going into the details of the Betrayal mechanics, so please check it out if you're unfamiliar with it. Essentially, this is a Katarina Rush strategy, but it can be a bit slow without the Scarab. However, you can use Scarab too if you want to speed up the safe house investigation. For destructive play, you are taking the Keystone. Then all these nodes to increase the Guardian and Synthesize Maps drop chance. Also, you should not forget about these map nodes as well, as they will give you more maps overall. While you're running this strategy, try to favor a few different maps to your liking so you can start building a good map pool for later. The Scarab nodes are pretty good because Maven brings extra bosses to your map, so I highly recommend taking it. If you have the extra points, I would also highly recommend taking the Shrines nodes because it can help with clearing the expeditions. Shrine also adds monster packs to your maps, and it's just an overall good mechanic in this league. So that's pretty much the whole strategy. Now I'll do a showcase on how to optimally run this, as it's very important for your early game progression. You should pick any map that Maven hasn't witnessed yet, then choose Maven on the map device. The Lantern mod doesn't matter for this strategy, so you can pick whatever. I'm still on my day 3 setup and won't be able to play a lot until the weekend, but I'll try to do a video on my character progression soon, so stay tuned for that. The optimal way to run this strategy is not to full clear, but you should rush for map completion. That means you should get into the map and try to complete it ASAP. Okay, as you can see, there's a lightning immunity chest over there, so we have to put our explosive a little bit further to the left. You can quickly place down your explosive by pressing the V key, as it's a shortcut for League Mechanic button. We don't want Rog or Gwenin, but it's still good to clear these expeditions because they can give good loot or logbook. And logbook is good money in the early game for sure. So after clearing the expedition, you want to look for the bosses in Betrayal next. You want to do them quickly, then go to the next map. These meat sack monsters are pretty good if you have a lantern mod for scarab conversion. We don't have it, and this guy is crit resistant, so I'm just going to skip it. Here's the first safe house, and usually you'll have 3 of them. Again, if you're not familiar with the mechanics and want to know how to do the Betrayal board fast without thinking, I recommend checking out my video on Betrayal. The Betrayal members can also be quite rippy, especially the intervention members, so don't stand still around them. The faster you are at completing the map, the faster you'll progress your atlas. There's not a lot of point to full clear map right now because we haven't juiced our map yet. Always keep that in mind when running this strategy. There are 3 boxes you need to check before completing a map: the expedition, the Maven Witness boss, and the 3 Betrayal encounters. Well, actually, doing the King's March mining is good as well if you need gold or any ores to progress your town. By the way, if you have watched until now and like my content, please press that subscribe button so you won't miss my next video. Now we just have 1 more Betrayal encounters, and that will be it for the map. I think this build has turned out very well so far, and I should be able to finish my Atlas progression very soon. I also did my tier 17 map clearway before I upgraded my gears, but it will be covered in my next video. Some people ask me how to swap to Power Siphon of the Archmage, and to be honest, I haven't looked into it, so if you want to discuss on the build, come to my Discord and we can talk about it. We have an Atlas invitation and a safe house available, so I'll run them right now as well. Always roll your Atlas invitation and clear them right away so you can do the next batch of maps. The bosses are a bit more dangerous with the Atlas invitation, but we're a totem build, so you just need to run around and our totem will finish the boss. We are also tanky enough now with more than 7,000 mana, so it won't be a problem. You should also run the Synthesized and Guardian map with Maven Witness because they also give great profits. Just make sure your build is strong enough to handle them. Besides the invitation, you should run your safe house when it's up as well, and with that, we have come to the end of the video. If you like this content and want to see more, please consider to subscribe, give this video a like, and comment below with any questions. See you in the next video soon.